Okay, we're now week 2, day 1. So the first day of the second week on the build of the cabin. That's excluding putting the ground screws in. So at this point, we've got the glue-down foundation beams in, the floor joists, the mesh, the membrane in the floor, all of the walls are gone up, the roof joists are on and planed, and now we're starting on the roof boards. So we're just going to have a quick look inside the cabin just to show how it's proved that it is actually a twin cabin. So this is proven in real life that it is a twin cabin and it is made properly, because there's lots of drawings that I see online with saying that this is a twin cabin and there's a window or a big door in the middle of it, which it can't be a twin cabin. There's no way. Just because it says there's a line down the drawing on a plan, it says it's a twin cabin, doesn't necessarily mean it's a twin cabin. So let's have a look inside and I'll show you the definition of a twin cabin made from log cabins. So here we are on the end wall, and you can quite clearly see a visible gap between the two cabins, because when the cabin is made, we make one half of the cabin, then we make the second half of the cabin. It's not until the end where we join the two. We have a cover strip that fits between the two here, between the gaps, and then we also have a strip on the outside, a weather strip, which then covers that. Obviously the breathing membrane that comes around keeps the moisture and wind out, and then the insulation then fits in between. You will notice at the top here, we've put a temporary board in, just holding the cabin together until we come to a point that all of the internal walls are up and there can be no further movement. So this shows you here, there is a gap. This cabin here, because the room is so big, we have to have some supporting posts in here. You can see we need a gable end over here with the roof to take the roof joists. The two posts are separately, proving again that this is a twin cabin. For now, we've just temporarily fixed these together while we're in part of the build. Walking down again, the middle wall, again, here's our gap, showing the difference between the two. We've got another temporary support here. And here we are again at the end, another temporary support that just keeps the walls where they should be, keeps them stable, and there's our gap again. So a twin cabin must be a twin cabin. It can't just have a plan saying it is and having boards all the way across. It's got to be made in its two halves. There's legislation in place, so we know that it's been through a court of law that a twin cabin can be stick built on site. So access is hard, like this is a hard access. We can stick build this on site. I'm not saying there isn't, but my research hasn't found that a single unit has gone through a court of law to prove that a single unit can be stick built. So that's why we do twin cabins. I know we can do it. There's legislation in place that we can stick build it, and it passes all of the rules under the Caravan Act that it can be transported on the road. Okay, so what would happen, this would just be put on the back of a lorry. It's within the width distance that it could travel on the road. That's why it's a twin. So this particular cabin is 5 meters wide. It'd be hard to travel down the road with that one. So twin cabin in two halves.